Hello everyone, this is Ahad Supariwala. This is my presentation from my university, which has a topic of leadership roles and practices. I would like to show you my agenda. My agenda has these points: introduction, 5 leadership practices. I'll briefly explain all of these 5 practices, implications in the work environment, leadership plan of action, then conclusion in the end, and references. This is my introduction. So in the introduction, I would like to say that this presentation consists of all the things that we have learned in this course. This presentation also consists of all the explanation, details about our courses, consists of all the practices by Kouzes and Posner. And I would even like to say that our course consists of all the things that we learned. In this presentation, I will even give you implications of the work environment discussed in this course, and I will even give you a detailed summary of 5 practices and a detailed conclusion of the course at the end of the presentation. This is the 5 practices: model the way, inspire a shared vision, challenge the process, enable others to act, encourage the heart. All of these practices have two set pieces, which is model the way has clarify the values and set your example. Inspire a shared vision has envision the future, enlisting others. Challenge the process consists of searching for opportunities and taking risk, experimenting and taking risk. Enable others to act has foster collaboration and strengthening others. Encourage the heart has recognizing contributions by individual and celebrating of the achievements of that individual. I would like to explain model the way for now. Model the way means that a leader must be credible enough to lead the organization. By credibility, I do not mean that the leader should only be credible to lead the organization. I mean to say is that the leader must have the clarify values to find his own voice, and then the leader must know how to align his values. The aligning of his values is also important after finding his own voice. To do this, leader must know how to increase his effectiveness for his employees. To increase his effectiveness, the leader must have the empowerment over them. He must have a good vision. The leader must know how to communicate. He might have a vision, but if he do not know how to communicate, there's no point of having the vision, right? The leader must know how to share his vision to his employees. His employees should be willing to work for the same vision. The leader should be consistent enough to perform in this organization for the organization. Without consistency, nothing is possible. The leader must be committed to his people and organization. These are the ways for practicing model the way. There are many other ways to increase their effectiveness, but these are the most important ones. The other ones are like humility, respect, trust, and many other things. But these are the most important one. Hence, this is the way how practice the first practice of an exemplary leadership. This is inspire a shared vision. Inspire a shared vision means the leader must know how to envision the future and enlisting the same vision to his people. The leader must have a vision, but what if his employees does not have the same vision? It is next to impossible to work without a team. The team must be willing to achieve that goal, right? The main teaching about inspired and shared vision in our lecture was remember the past, attend to the present, and anticipate the future. So a person must be able to remember his past on how to enlist others. I mean to say is that he should remember what mistakes he has made in the past and he should not do it again. Everyone has seen a movie named Lion King. There's a quote in that. The way I see, you can either run from your past or learn from your past. And this is one of the best quote I have ever heard. Now I will go to attend to the present. Attend to the present. A leader must be present to his own presence, right? To make his own future, to create his own future. He must work in the present to create his own future. Anticipate the future. Anticipate the future means the leader must be willing to anticipate his future. It means that anticipation to create his own future. He must have more to prepare, and he will always be ready for the change if he practices anticipating the future. These 3 points cover all the syllabus for inspired a shared vision. There is third practice: challenge the process. What is challenge the process? To challenge the process means willing to search for an opportunity and take risk for the organization. By taking risk, I do not mean taking big risk or silly risks. The organization does not work on a single person. Everyone in the organization must be willing to take a risk. The leader must know how to motivate his employees to take risk. I mean to say is that the leader must know, like he should even motivate his employees to take a risk, right? Motivating his employees has some points. How to do it? I'll explain. He must gain their trust. He must trust them. So trust works both ways, not only one. He must start slow and start building. I mean to say is the leader must know how to take risk. If he's working on a small scale, he should take small scale first, small risks to build his organization. He must know how to win. He must know many things. He should bring new innovations to be able to possibility of taking risk. He should take smart risks and not silly ones, and many other. There are many other risks, but these are the most important ones. Leaders should even know how to make for innovation ideas to grow, change, and improve. I'd like to go to the next slide, which is enable others to act. Enable others to act as the fourth practice of leadership, but this is the most important one among all the five. This means that the leader should have the trust and the employees should have their trust in the leader. Trust is the key factor for the organization. Trust works both the ways. I would say trust works both the ways. The trust can either take the organization to the sky or it can go to the dust, right? The other key factors for this enable others to act practice is fostering collaboration and strengthening others. If the employees trust his leader, then they can be strengthened by the leader. Leader must strive to create an atmosphere of trust, which in turn can strengthen his employees, making each other feel capable and powerful. I would like to go to the next slide, which is encourage the heart. Encourage the heart. Encourage the heart. A leader must be capable of knowing things. Like he must know that commitment, community, and celebrations are interrelated to each other, which we were known in our discussing question by the university. I mean to say is that the leader must know how these things are connected. It highlights that they are connected with each other. I'll explain how. If the people are committed in the same community, right? They trust each other. Trust is again the key feature which I already explained in the above practice. Commitment. Commitment means trust. Commitment means making a promise to the people. If they are from the same community, if they work for the same organization, then they make a commitment to each other, right? When some people are committed to each other, they commit for work to be done. When the work is completed, then it's time for a celebration. It's time for a joyous moment. That is how celebration, commitment, and community are related to each other. Let's talk about the connection of community and commitment, which I already explained. I would like to go to the next slide. Implications in the work environment. What do I mean when I say implication in the work environment? Implication means showing how the work environment is so important. The most important implication is performance by the leader or his employees. There are many other implications, and those are connection with his team members, talking about achievements and not failures, supporting team members, trust his employees. I'll explain all of them, but again, the most important is performance. If the performance given by the leader is not consistent, then the implication by the leader will not be effective. The leader should always be grateful to his employees and giving them as best, because he should know, he should always appraise them, he should always appreciate them, that they work hard. The leader should even give his employees of the company. I mean to say is he should always give coaching, tuition, teaching to his employees, right? Because no one is perfect. The leader must give his vision. The leader must show his employees that his training can help them achieve some great goals. They should not repeat their mistakes. The leader should train them so well that they should know that mistakes should not be repeated. What are done in the past is done. He should trust his employees. Without trust, organization cannot work. These are the implications for the work environment, but there are most important ones as a leader. I would like to go to the other presentation, which I mean as leadership plan of action. This is my leadership plan of action, which I have written for myself. I have a plan of action for the leadership, which I have written down in different development parts, I would say. So the first part is, for example, every success has steps, right? So I've written down the steps. Know your weakness and strength. A person to work must know his weakness and his strengths. He should make his goal and set a mission to achieve. He should create a deadline for each of his goals. A leader should finally, after doing all of these things, set his plan in action. But doing so, the leader must have some qualities too, right? He must be integrity. He must have integrity. He must have self-discipline, values, morale, principles, confidence, and vision. So I mean to say is that I have worked in a company for 3.5 years in my home country, where I used to work as a merchandise manager and a showroom manager. It is definitely a lot of hard work, but I used to love it. But everyone needs an upgrade, right? Everyone needs an upgrade. So my main focus was to upgrade myself because it's challenging and super fun, I would say. So I started this. And now, this, according to me, the most important quality of a person is his self-discipline, and he must have some values for what he's working on. So for me, my value were my family. They were the most important one, right? They are the most important one, I would say. Now, every person works for their own family. If I am self-disciplined, if I am doing something, if I am able to achieve something, it's all because of my self-discipline and my integrity, because I'm being honest to people, because I'm being open to people. So when people know that when my employees know that I'm being open to them, it means that I am trying and telling them to be emotionally attached to each other, right? It helps in gaining trust. It helps in making life easier at work. It helps many other things. It also helps in the teamwork, which is my next part. So the teamwork is the most important thing. A person cannot run an organization alone. A person must know how important the teamwork is. As I stated earlier, my team that I've worked with is amazing, right? We can do what we do without supporting each other and working together to get things done. It builds strong trust. Teamwork is really, really necessary for achieving goals, for achieving discipline, for achieving many other things, to create your weakness into strength, many other things. So this is how I would like to end my leadership plan of action. I would like to go to the conclusion. What is my conclusion? I just explained on the introduction, but I would like to conclude my presentation at the end. And this is the end of my presentation. I would like to conclude that this course and the topic of this presentation, that it was really, really helpful for me. Leadership has always been an important part in human life. How? Because a human being always needs a leader to map him out into a right direction, into a right way, into a right style of working. To become a good leader, the leader must obviously practice these 5 practices, 5 exemplary practices, leadership practices, which I explained earlier. But this presentation consists of all the qualities a leader should have, practice, and every other things. A presentation also consists of the implications in the work environment. It also consists of my plan of action. It also consists of how good a leader can be by practicing all of these parts. To conclude, a good leader must have competence, courage, character, and compassion. These traits helps a leader to lead the organization well. These are my references. I would like to give some credit to these people who helped me. All of these things, I have used these references to make this presentation. Thank you. Ending the presentation. Thank you so much, everyone. And